Yeah, the vice president, he's been a busy bee of late. He's starting an economic tour today, later in Denver. And it's a multi-city tour to tell how the economy has turned around. And a lot of people read things between the lines that maybe he's positioning himself as a late entrant. It's hard to believe these days you call that being a late entrant in this presidential race. Too early to say, but we're going to debate that with Rachel Campbell-Stuffy and Hadley Heath Manning, who is in Denver. Hadley, to you first. I mean, how likely is that? What are you getting? Is this sort of an effort on the part of the vice president to sort of, reintroduce himself to the American public post the death of his son? Or is he heeding the advice of some of those kids who have been telling him, Dad, run?
No, I don't think this is the beginning of a Biden run. First of all, he said he won't announce until after summer's over, maybe sometime in September, if he decides to run. But I think that's a bad idea. I think Vice President Biden is an easy target for Republicans because unlike any of the other Democratic candidates, or I should say more so than any of the other Democratic candidates, he's tied to these Obama years, the Obama agenda, the record on foreign policy, record on economic policy. So he's got a lot to run from in terms of, if he's actually running, he's got more baggage than most.
I don't know. A lot of remember how things were, Rachel, and say they're better than they were.
Well, I definitely think he's trying to hedge his bets, right? He's going to go and he's going to try and put lipstick on this pig of the economy. And
it's not that pig of an economy.
Well,
I mean, when you think of where we were, I'm not casting a Democratic or Republican.
But let's talk about, he's got to hold this Obama coalition together, and that's single women, minorities, young people. These people are doing worse than they were before Obama came into office.
A lot of them are very passionate, the ones who were very early passionate for Obama. And he was the one who led the president on gay rights and all that. 2.5
million more Hispanics living in poverty. Income levels for black and Hispanics are down. Student loan debt is worse.
So you're saying don't even bother, Mr. Vice President?
I think he's doing what he needs to do to try and make it look good, but he's in trouble if he's going to run on an Obama economy.
All right, Hadley, if that is the case, I know how these conventions go. We were talking about it here, about what each side says. The Republicans are going to say things are awful. The Democrats are going to say, at our convention, remember where we were, remember the markets that were free-falling, remember all that was going on, they're a lot better. And they will argue, and some of them even rephrased it like this, well, maybe not, off to the races, but kind of off the mat. And that is something they're going to pound. And you want to go back to Republicans. How would a Joe Biden address that? Or would he bother?
Well, I think this is where he again faces a shortcoming or a disadvantage compared to other Democrats who can say, look how far we've come and we still have further to go. But Joe Biden, unlike the rest of the Democratic candidates, has had a hand in this. He has been the second-hand man to President Obama during these years.
He's looking at how vulnerable Hillary Clinton looks and how Sanders is eating her lunch in a couple of places, and then, hey, why not?
I absolutely think he is.
You do?
I do. I think he's looking at this. He knows how unlikable Hillary is. I think he is a likable guy. But unfortunately, like Hillary, he's got some pretty bad policies tied around his neck.
Ladies, we'll watch very, very closely here in the